Greetings, Diski fam. Welcome to another episode of the Sisonke Diski Chat right here on Vodacom's YouTube channel. My name is Lenn Moleko as the host of your show, and this is a show where we speak to legends of the two biggest teams in Mzansi. I'm talking about Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. We have such gentlemen joining us on the show today, but before I introduce you to them, I just want to remind you, because we're coming almost to the end of the Sisonke Siyawina campaign. That is where you stand to win yourself a customized Kentucky Rounder or a Gusheshe. For you to stand a chance to win one of those two iconic cars, it's very simple. Head out to now.vodacom.co.za to enter. And who knows, come end of the season, you could be cruising your streets with one of those iconic cars. And for Orlando Pirates fans, just make sure you download the official Orlando Pirates app, and that will double up your entries. And if you're a Kosi fan, make sure you stay connected on KC Mobile, and you too get to double your entries. Head out to now.vodacom.co.za and make sure you enter. I'm gonna start close to me here. Benedict Tso Vilakazi, welcome to the Sisonke Diski Chat.
No, thanks, my brother. Thanks for inviting me.
And far to my left, former Kaizer Chiefs defender, legend, captain, Tefu Mashamaite. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mr. Lenn. Thanks for the invite.
I'm gonna get straight into it. Today's conversation, as you can see, the two gentlemen here, leaders in their own right, leaders who've led their teams to lots of silverware. I'm gonna start with Tso, leader at Orlando Pirates. What came with being a senior player / captain for a team as big as Pirates?
Yeah, that question. Look, one will be how you present yourself in the field of play, and you conduct yourself, because it's very important that the way you play, it must say something to other people, and to be a leader also, because of when you conduct yourself in a good manner and everyone is looking up to you. Yes, the team, they decide to select you to be the captain of the team, and now the responsibility is huge. You know, captaining Orlando Pirates. You know, you're playing with superstars. I mean, you know, we get foreign players that are good, that are in the team. Some of the local guys are playing in the national team, Bafana Bafana. That's not an easy thing, and you know, looking at Orlando Pirates. I mean, that's it's a big team. You know, the team was born 1937, and to be one of those captain of that team, that was an honor for me to captain that team, and yeah, it came with a huge responsibility of helping the guys in the field of play. Sometimes take decisions where it matters most, and sometimes the coaches will say, no, but we had a plan, and why do you think it's better to change it and you do as you please, and sometimes it's you are caught in the middle where the guys, they're looking up to you to say, now it's tough, we can't do anything, we don't have plans anymore, what coach told us to do doesn't work, and so what are you saying? And I need to take a decision. Whereas the coach says to me, look, make sure that the guys stick to the plan. And, sometimes you get frustrated, but, you need to calm yourself down to say, look, what is it that I think at this moment it's good for the team, it's going to benefit the team. And if I think that by changing what the coach said, we must do, and do the other way around, that we think as guys it's going to work for the team, then I need to take that decision. But, when you take that decision, you always say, you have a small prayer to say, please God help me that everything must go well, because if something happens wrong, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And I can't fight with the coach as a captain. I'm a bridge between my teammates and the coach. So if I'll be the one who's gonna defy whatever that the coach said we must do, and so now who's gonna be a bridge between the players and the coach? So it's a tough one, but we, with the support of the guys, obviously they make things easier for you, because of we play with big name players, and they understand why they're there, and their responsibility also individually to help the team to achieve whatever goals that we need to achieve. So, yes, it's a huge responsibility. I mean, when you look at in the derby game where it's Chiefs Pirates, the stadium is full. So when you have to take those decisions, it's not an easy one. So you just have to do that small prayer, so that when it's halftime, the coach will come to you to say, no, but guys, I said you must tell the guys they must stick to the plan. And then now you need to tell the coach, look, this is what we saw in the field of play. I don't know, maybe you were aware. This is what we saw. And we've tried to do your plan, but it didn't work. So we've decided that, no, let's do it this way, but not forgetting what you told us to do. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Tefu, when that meeting, I don't know how the appointment happened.
Yes.
They don't send you an SMS or you have a meeting. When that meeting came and they said to you, okay, you are going to be captain, what goes through your mind? Because I would like to think the honor of being captain of a team as big as Kaizer Chiefs also comes with a lot of responsibilities. So when that meeting happens and they're like, here's the captain's armband, what goes through your mind at the time?
Well, ironically, that chance for me came on the 20th of September, 2014. We were playing against Pirates in the final of MTN 8. And I think Itu was injured then. And Ovi and Doc was the assistant coach back then. They called me after breakfast. We were playing Pirates that day. And they said, you know what, look, Itu is injured. We would like to make you a captain 2014-2015 season. And as they say, the rest was history. But like for me, I had captain vets, I had captain amateur teams. And for me, the only difference was just the armband at the end of the day, because like I believe that like as a defender, as a central defender, like you always have to lead. As Brazzo will testify, like he wants like his defenders to take care of the job at the back, So it just comes down to leadership. And I mean, before that, like I said, I've always been a leader, and I've always enjoyed the role. Because like in a team you get like different departments, like the defenders, the midfielders, the strikers, like you always get like different leaders in every department. And like I had guys like Shaba, Yeye, Tefu Mashamaite, Morgan, like they had like international experience, so I didn't really have to like go deep in terms of like getting them to be inspired or anything, but they knew what they wanted, So it wasn't much of a big deal. But like Brazzo has already said, like captaining teams like Pirates, like Chiefs, it's an honor, because like these are some of the biggest teams, not just in South Africa, but on the continent, These are the giants, and like when you grow up, you look up to these teams, Me growing up in Limpopo, first of all, not having really having access to TV in the 90s, like I'll listen on the radio, derby games, like they were just big, like families were divided. And then there came a time when like I could like check them out on TV, and like he was one of my inspirations, I played a friendly game. I was at Vets development academy, 2002, I think, 2003. And like we went to play a friendly against them at Ellis Park. And just that experience, inspired me a lot to work hard and like to eventually get to captaining Chiefs.
One of the things that you do as a captain is, apart from what Brazzo was saying, or the coach will say, do this. You're like, James Bonane, like, don't worry, I've got your back, I've got you covered. But one of the most rewarding things about being captain of a team is that time when the trophy presentation happens and you have to be that guy who lifts the trophy. Obviously, you guys have done that. what goes through your mind when I get everybody goes, they get their medals there, and you're gonna lift the trophy. What goes through your mind when you have to, like, it's like, okay, cool, all the sacrifices and the little prayers that you were doing, they're paying off. How's that feeling of getting to a point of lifting the trophy?
Look, for me, actually, when we won the league, I was injured and I was on the crutches when I had to go and lift up that trophy. And look, it's a feeling that you can't even explain. You'll always try and pinch yourself and say, is it me really? Is it me? Go and check in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and say, really, is it me? Because, it's you're looking at the teams that are in the league and the number 2, the number 3, that they were putting pressure on you guys, the supporters were putting pressure on you to say, no, we need a trophy, we need a trophy. So when you lift that trophy, it's an unbelievable, I would say, a memory that, as we're talking now, it's like it happened last week for me, because it's something that you're not gonna forget it. In years and years, I can grow old and be madala, but I'm still gonna tell you to say, boy, I did, lift that trophy, but I can't explain that feeling.
Coming back to your question, I mean, I've been lucky enough to have won a trophy with every team that I played for, from Vets right until Supersport. So Vets, Chiefs, Haken, Supersport. And just coming down to the question of being a captain and being the last one to leave that trophy, I think it comes with pressure, because you don't really want to be a number 2, if you're gonna get into the finals, you have to make sure that you go all out. So all sorts of emotions, you go through them, prior to the build-up and everything else. And that moment when you walk on stage and finally you've won it, you just, it's such a relief, because you don't want to be remembered as number 2, like I've already said. So it's a privilege, because in the team you find 20, in South Africa you find 40 players in a team, and just to be the captain and being the one to walk on stage and wear that medal and lift that trophy, it's a privilege, it's a special privilege.
The toughest part, let me not even say decisions, toughest part about being a captain. I get not when you're lifting trophies.
Yeah.
But there's that tough part.
It's where it's tough. It's when you guys you trailing in the game, 1-0 or 2-0, and you guys you have to win the game, and you can see that the guys, everyone is looking down they it's finished, we're not gonna win it. Then now you need to come with that brave face, and with whatever that you're gonna say to the guys, again, you need to be very careful, because their emotions, they're playing around. Now psychologically also they down. No one believes that they can do it. So when you talk to them, you need to show also that brave face. They must see that this is possible from you, to say, guys, we can do it. We did it before. We did it against Sundowns. We did it against Ajax. So we can't be stopped by Celtics. Yes, they're doing well so far, but we can turn it around. Let's make sure that they don't score now. We get to halftime. When we come back, guys, we're there. We can do it. So look, my brother, it's not an easy thing. I'm telling you. Now I've got goosebumps, because talking to somebody that you can see that he already gave up. Now you need to come with some special things, some whatever that is so special to make him believe and see. Because it's important to whatever you're going to say to them, that they need to see and believe that this is possible from you. Besides somebody else, because remember that in the field of play, if things are not happening, they don't look at the coach, they look at you.
Yeah.
Hey Baba, hey Baba, hey Baba, we're trying, Baba, hey, but it's not working. Hey Baba, now you can see when they're saying we're trying, we concede. Hey Baba, but we're trying to do this, it's not working, so then we concede again. To be a captain, I think it's also comes from God, because whatever that comes, remember at that time, everyone's feeling the pressure. You also feeling the pressure as a leader. And where do you get those ways to encourage those guys? And when they look at you, they're like, no man, guys, he says we can do it. No man, let's do it. Now all of a sudden the things that turn around, we go 1, 2, 3, we won the game. So I think God is always blessing us as leaders and giving us that strength, because that's not an easy thing. So it's difficult. It's very difficult. I'm telling you, it's very difficult when you look at your teammates, you see them looking down, and they're like, it's over. Then you need to talk to them, encourage them, give them that confidence, and then we push.
Touching on what Tso said, Bratev, captains, are they made, or is it something that you are born with? Because gauging from what you said, you've captained a number of sides before you captained Kaizer Chiefs. So in that essence, it kind of feels like, okay, cool. A captain is born. You can't just become a captain. You need to have special attributes for you to be able to wear that armband. So based on that, and obviously in your time of playing and people that you've played with, those captains that you were playing under, do you think, Jorge, they are born or they can be made?
It's a combination of both. It's a question of nature versus nurture,
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like fine, you're born with leadership traits, but like where do they get tested? It's you going through, the process, like challenges, it's fine. You can have all those leadership traits, but like at some point, like they have to be tested, they have to be nurtured, they have to be developed. And like they have to be put on the stage to say, you know what, like, are you really a leader, So me saying that, like, I've captained every team, it's just down to luck, the coaches that I've worked with, having identified that, like, like he's got like leadership qualities, and therefore let's test him. But like coming to the earlier question that you posed to Brato, some of the challenges that I encountered was I think he has covered more on the field in terms of inspiring players when things are not going well. What is it that you do to get the best out of them? But like the challenges that, like, for me were real was like when it comes to the issue of, like, negotiating bonuses with the management.
That's true. Yes.
The players are like looking at a situation from a different perspective, and like the management is also maybe looking to save money. Like you get caught in between. And they say, no, you must go tell them that we said this. Yeah. And when you get there, like you hit the roof, you have to go back, and like you end up being like, like just in the middle, so you have to come up with like situations, you have to come up against situations, that like make you a bit uncomfortable, but like that's what leaders are made for, and like I have been privileged enough, like I said, to work with like players who are supportive, obviously Brato has never played for Chiefs, but like he can testify that like Chiefs is one of the most professional clubs in the countries in terms of like just taking care of like certain situations. We didn't have a problem where like players are not being paid. Like I know it's a common factor in our country, and I think I didn't have to like go out of my depth, like to go and like, okay, why isn't that player paid? Why didn't that one get like a bonus? Such situations. So I think that was a privilege enough for me.
Brato, you are captain. And then some of the senior guys probably getting pinched share rooms with them. When you're not playing, like fela. Now comes a time where you have to, or a situation where you have to speak to a fellow teammate or how it's but we left with so many minutes. Why did you get that yellow card? Because you're putting us on the back foot now. A defender, you're on a yellow card, there's 10 minutes left and we're only leading by a goal. I retaliate. But whatever no, we take him pinchaka, how do you handle such situations in the leadership position that you're in?
You know, I would say that's a lucky thing that as leaders sometimes we get, like as Tefu just said now. In the field of play, you know, at Pirates, yes, you know, we've got friends, we do whatever of the field, but in the field of play, one thing that I loved with the guys is when we're in the field of play, they know that we're working. This thing of friends, we're friends outside, but now we're working because everyone needs to put a plate on the table for his family. So the guys, we used to talk, all of us, to say, look, if Baba, you're not doing well, Baba, please, you know, go outside, we'll put somebody else. If you're not willing to work today, so we'll get somebody else that is going to work because we can't suffer because of you.
Yeah.
You know, so beside me as a leader to say anything, amongst ourselves as my teammates, we used to say, look, hey, Baba, we're going to tell the coach that you're not giving us anything. So he must take you out and then put somebody else because we can't lose a game because of you. We can't have 5 chances and then you miss all of them. I mean, what are you trying to say to us? So let's get somebody else that will come in. So I would say with the guys, I remember we used to say you can't change a winning team. So that was one of the things that motivates the guys to work more hard because we had good players. So you knew that if you're not going to play well, somebody else is going to take your position. So I was lucky that, the guys were willing to fight and we understand each other. And if you make a mistake, I come to you shouting at you. I'm not shouting because I'm fighting with you, but I'm shouting because of you made, I would say maybe, sorry for my language, maybe made a stupid mistake. So you're not supposed to do that. Why did you do that? And then after that, it's okay. I mean, it's just, you need to tell him to wake up. Because sometimes, we tend to be casual in the field of play. Especially, Tefu will tell you, most of the time defenders, because they will find that the ball is always playing in front of them. So they tend to relax at the back. A minute when they start to relax, now he has a long ball. Now he has to make a tackle, now made a corner kick. He was not supposed to do that. Yeah. And then we ask him, hey Baba, but you saw the ball, that this ball is a long ball. I mean, you have to take a few steps back and then you can hit the ball. Simple. Why do you have now, the ball has to go over you, now you're chasing the ball, here's the striker, now you have to make it, why? So, but it all goes to a good communication with your teammates because if you don't have a good communication with your teammates and a good relationship with them, you will always find it difficult to really lead them. Yeah, because if you can't communicate with them, it's going to make your life too difficult as a leader.
For you, Tefu?
For me, I'll be honest with you, like I don't have too many friends. I didn't have too many friends. One of the first things that Roger Disa, one of my first, after Bobby Solomon's first coaches, once I came into the professional setup, was like, there is no friends in football, and I took that literally and seriously. And especially if you're going to be a leader, because emotions can come in the way of the job on the table, So for me, it was just down to, at the end of the day, if I can lead by example, if I can do my job everyone else, like, you know, has to like follow that. You know, that's what leadership is made of. You know, and I didn't really have to look out, like go out of my way to say, you know what, like, hey, do this, hey, do that. If I did that, like, it was a case of like I was unaware, like I was just like in the zone. You know, I don't feel like I was conscious about like doing those things. You know, like it just happened naturally.
Okay, so gentlemen, we're almost out of time. One question for each of you. The most memorable game that you've captained?
Obviously, I mean, playing against Chiefs. You know, playing against Chiefs, it's one of those games that you'll never forget in your life, and you'll always have those memories. Even, you know, I played a lot of derbies, but there's one that I will.
The one where you scored.
Well, you know, almost all of them, as I always score. You know, I always score against Chiefs, you know, and
It was your thing.
Yeah, no, against Chiefs, I will always, you know, be on top of my game, and it's just that I'm just wanna put one game that there's this game I scored. It was 88 minutes. The score was 1-1. Then I still remember the action itself. I got a ball in the midfield. I played to Chimitao, and then I made a run straight forward. And then Chimitao played to Tugutugu. Tugutugu Makanya played back to Chimitao. Then I raised my hand, you know, so that they can pass me the ball. So Cyril Nzama saw me.
Yeah.
And then I took 2 steps back, and then I just hand on the left, I said, hey, Baba. And then Cyril didn't see me when I raised my left hand. And then Jimmy Dow just put that cross in. So when Cyril was, actually, he jumped, he wanted to trap the ball, you know. So I just came in front of him, you know, with the header.
Yeah.
Then I just put it, you know, in the corner there, and you know, my ear was like, this side was closed. Yeah, I didn't hear anything because this side was Chiefs supporters, this side.
Yeah.
So I can only hear these guys, this side on my right, like, I only hear, so I was like, you know, I will never forget that goal because that game, it gave us a confidence of going all the way in the league.
For you, Brother?
I mean, like, obviously it has to be that MTN 8 win against Pirates in Durban, 2014. First night that I captained the team, historical. And playing against a tough Pirates team, Itu is injured. The media the whole week, they are saying, no, it's a Pirates game, it's a Pirates game. Even Pirates players are, you know, just like being open about it, that Itu is injured. Brilliant is a small boy. We're gonna take care of them. And then, yeah, set piece, I think it was like in the 20th minute or something. George Maluleka plays it in, and I just head it down. Rest in peace to Senzo Meiwa. And I remember, like, we joked about that goal at Bafana camp.
Yeah.
And he said he thought I was gonna put it on his right, but like, because I knew him, I knew that like he studied our games, so I decided to just like head it down.
Yeah.
And like the pitch was slippery, and then like it just glides and then it hugs the net, and like for me that was like memorable. And like playing in Durban, you know, like there's like a different vibe about Durban.
Yeah.
Respect to Soweto FNB Stadium, but like when you're playing in Durban, it's just like it's a different setup, you know. Like those people, they really support football, you know. Like whether your Chiefs is playing against Arrows or Amazulu, they always come out in numbers, you know. They don't take advantage of football. they always come out, and like the stadium was just packed that day, and like I think that was one of the most memorable for me.
It's funny that your memories are about the team that you actually like. Yeah, for Chiefs it was Pirates. For Pirates it was Chiefs.
I mean, it's because of playing a derby. That's why I said playing a derby. It's always special. So when you do things in the derby, it's things that everyone will always remember that. Than playing against Black Leopard and you score 2 goals. Yeah, they will talk maybe on that week, but when you talk about derby, everyone will tell you. They will tell you in details that so and so did this at this minute, so and so did that at that minute, and it's always special to really play derby.
Just to add on what you just said, like the derby, it's just more than that 90 minutes. It's about the supporters, it's about the colors, it's about the drive from the hotel to the stadium. The traffic. And the colorfuls, everything, the build-up, during the week, the training is just different that way, that time, so it makes it a bit special because, it's like there's a certain kind of elevation, that comes that week, and like you don't, like sometimes when the coach is like talking in the dressing room, you just want to say, Coach, save it. I'm already inspired, I just want to go out there and like do my thing,
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the Sisonke Diski Chat. It was a pleasure having you, and thank you for sharing your stories. And hopefully we'll be catching up soon about one or other topic that has to do with the derby, because I feel like there's a lot of stories that you guys have. But we will make that call and have you guys come back to the show. Anyway, that's it for another episode of the Sisonke Diski Chat. Remember, head out to now.vodacom.co.za to enter your details, and come end of the season, you could be driving around your streets in one of those iconic cars. And for Orlando Pirates fans, make sure that you download and register on the official Orlando Pirates app to double your entries. And for Amakosi fans, make sure you stay connected to KC Mobile, and you too get to double your entries. On that note, I'm out of here. We'll see you on the next episode of the Sisonke Diski Chat.